Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be doing a review on the Anastasia Beverly Hills powder bronzers. If you do want to see a review and a demo, then please keep watching. As a huge favor, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up and comment anything down below. I greatly appreciate it. I read all the comments and I will do my best to reply back. Anastasia recently had their pre-Black Friday sale, so I picked up a couple of items, well, more than a couple of items. I purchased a couple of brushes, a couple of eyeshadow palettes, these bronzers, and this blush trio. First, we're gonna start off with these bronzers, then we're gonna move on to the blush trio. Each bronzer retails for $28, but I paid $12.60 because they were having 40% off for their pre-Black Friday sale. I do want to read a little bit about this bronzer on Anastasia's website. Anastasia Beverly Hills Powder Bronzer is a finely milled bronzing powder that provides a natural looking matte finish with buildable coverage. This professional quality powder bronzer feels weightless on the face and body and blends seamlessly to add a warmth for a sun-kissed makeup look. Available in 6 naturally sun-kissed shades for all skin tones. The 2 shades I purchased was Saddle and Amber. I wasn't really sure which one would match me, so I picked up both shades. Here's a closer look on what the packaging looks like. It says Anastasia Beverly Hills Powder Bronzer. You get 10 grams of product or 0.35 ounces. On the top of the packaging you have the shade name. This shade is called Saddled. Right next to it is the barcode. On the bottom there isn't anything. On the sides you have the ABH logo. Same thing on this side, you have the ABH logo. On the back of the packaging it says powder bronzer. You have a little description, you have the ingredients down here, and at the very bottom here it states that it's vegan, it's cruelty free, and it has an 18-month shelf life. Let's open this up. Here's what the actual packaging looks like. It says Anastasia Beverly Hills. Sorry about the reflection, but there is a bit of a glare. I hope you guys can see the packaging. On the back of the packaging, you have a picture of the shade. This one is called Saddle. Then you have a little description, and then it tells you that it's cruelty-free and vegan down at the bottom. I love this compact packaging. It's so cute. And it has this little button right here. You just press on it to open up the bronzer. Super cute. It does come with a mirror and this little plastic. I'll remove that. And here's what the shade in Saddle looks like. Let's swatch it. Here's the bronzer in Saddle. Saddle is described as a golden amber. I think Saddle might match me, I'm not too sure. Let's blend this out. I blended out the shade in Saddle and you can barely see it on the back of my hand. Let's see what Rich Amber looks like. Ooh, that's pretty. Let's swatch this. Here we have Rich Amber. Here's what Rich Amber looks like, and that's described as a neutral honey shade. Let me blend this out a bit. Here's what those 2 bronzers look like. I'm first going to be applying the shade in Saddle. I'm going to be using their Anastasia brush. I'm going to apply the shade in Saddle on the right side of my face. Here we have the shade in Saddle. Saddle has more of a cooler undertone in my opinion. I'm going to be using the same bronzer brush. I'm just going to be taking my Sephora Collection Instant Dry Brush Cleaning Spray. My brush is nice and clean. Let's see what the shade in Rich Amber looks like. I'm using an Anastasia A7 brush. It's not really meant for bronzer. You can use a brush for anything. The brush was on sale as well. It was 60% off. Here's what Rich Amber looks like. I prefer Rich Amber over Saddle. Saddle is a little bit too cool tone for me, but I can definitely make it work. I also want to point out that these bronzers do have some kick up to it. So as I'm dipping my brush into the powder bronzer, you can see there's a little bit of kick up. Let's move on to the blush trio. The blush trio normally retails for $30, but I paid $13.50. Here's a closer look on what the packaging looks like. It has the same outer packaging as the bronzer. On top of the packaging, you have a picture of what the trio looks like. I got mine in the shade Berry Adore. And then you have the barcode here. On the back of the packaging, you have a description. Again, you have the ingredients. And again, down at the bottom, it says it's vegan, cruelty-free, and this has a 12-month shelf life versus the bronzers, which has an 18-month shelf life. Let's see what the blush trio looks like. And again, it has the ABH logo on both sides. Again, same compact as the bronzers. You can see it a little bit better on this angle, but my ring light is kind of blinding you guys, which I'm sorry about. And then on the back, you have the shade name and the picture of the trio. It says it in a different language, and then of course it says it's vegan, cruelty-free, all of that. So let's open this up. Comes with a mirror as well, and here's what the 3 blushes look like. The first blush shade is called Velvet. Velvet is described as a matte mulberry wine. Ooh, that's super pigmented. I'm not sure if my blush brush will fit into here, but we'll try and make it work. Let's see what the shade in Velvet looks like. Wow, that's pigmented. I'm gonna tone down the blush shade using my damp beauty blender. This blush shade is gorgeous. The blush shade in the middle is called Exotic. Exotic is described as a satin sparkling pomegranate. Again, it's very pigmented. I prefer matte blushes over a satin blush, and this looks like it may have a little bit of shimmer in it, but we'll see what it looks like applied on the cheek. Taking a clean blush brush, let's dip into the shade in Exotic. Wow, that's beautiful. Here we have the shade in Exotic. Again, it's a beautiful blush shade. I wish it was matte. It does have a hint of shimmer in it. I'm not a huge fan of that. Here's what the blushes look like side by side. You can see this side, my cheek looks a little bit shiny. My skin type is very oily as it is. I don't need a blush that makes me even more shiny. I prefer the matte blush shade in Velvet. I'm gonna tone this down a bit so you can see what it looks like using my damp beauty blender. Here's what it looks like toned down. Again, it does have a bit of a sheen. The last bronzer shade is called Desert. This one is super soft in the pan versus the other 2 shades. Here's what Desert looks like. Desert is described as a satin spicy coral. Again, very pigmented. I'm gonna quickly blend out the blushes. Here's what the blushes look like blended out. Taking a clean blush brush, let's see what the shade in Desert looks like. Desert is my type of blush shade. Here's what the blush shade in Desert looks like. So gorgeous. I love it. My final thoughts on the blush trio is that I love it. You get 3 different blush shades, 1 matte finish, and 2 satin finishes. Here's my packing list. You can see how much I paid for the bronzers. Again, both powder bronzers were $12.60 and the blush trio was $13.50. I quickly went off camera, applied my Rare Beauty Volumizing Mascara, and for lips I applied my Summer Fridays Lip Butter Balm in Vanilla Beige. Let me know in the comments down below which bronzer shade looked best on me, Saddle or Rich Amber. If you guys did enjoy this video, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I will see you guys in my next video.